go. We're gonna do some stretching. A little slow going. I got this. It's all good. After you put in the work, this is the work after the work. The work is never really done in a sense. Sometimes I actually sweat even heavier doing my stretching than I do even working out. Do some basic upper body stretches, and I stretch my back next. And this is what I keep talking about. My goal is to get my palms on the ground.
About as far as I can go.
And I'm currently 4 fingers. I'm so close at 4 fingers. Actually, I think my thumbs are also down. I'm gonna double check that. Yeah, I got the thumbs down also. So after I do a little bit, I do the upper, I get down on the ground and do some leg stretching. So that way I can stretch out the hammies, especially after doing 20 minutes on the bike with disco legs, no less. That's my reference to how my legs feel after leg day. I say it's disco legs because my legs are wobbling and I feel like I'm dancing like Bill Gates at a Microsoft convention when I'm walking out of the gym. I'm just like, I don't care, because I know I put my work in today. So good to stretch. It's also a little hack in a sense, a little life hack to refreshing for other activities, because let's be honest, being an active person, the gym is only an hour out of your day or so. The rest of the day, you're hustling at work or you're doing outside projects and things like that, and being able to be loose to do that is a great feeling when you're not all knotted up and feeling like you can barely walk because you just put in a crazy amount of effort in the gym. You're just like, oh, what did I do? Why did I do this? And yeah, your body does get used to it over time, no question. The reality is though, I like this feeling way better, so I'm willing to put the effort in to make the rest of my day go a little easier. It's just building routines, and this is just another part of my routine now.
Here's a silly little thought. How many little squares do you think are in this wall?
Hundreds of thousands. Probably hundreds of thousands.
At least visual, because I'm a little bit like right here. There's another square in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it probably goes right to the floor and they covered it up. I do like the look of that or diamond plate. I think it has a particular aesthetic to it, and aesthetic is part of motivation in a sense. Working in the right environment. That's why I put so much effort into the room project last week and made it #1 priority to get my bedroom cleaned up and separated from where I work and hang out in the other part of the house. It's a game changer. And how many were there?
66 tall.
66 tall. Okay. So yeah, it's got to be near 100,000 little squares. All right. That felt good. I am loose and ready to tackle the rest of the day now. It's awesome, dude. It's a good workout. Thanks for coming along again and letting me share my wisdom with you.
Yeah, thank you for it. And I'm the kind of guy, even if I've learned something that you say, I'm still gonna take it in. I'm not gonna, oh dude, I already knew it. Because
Yeah.
there might be that tiny tidbit that I didn't learn. I learned 75, 80% of it.
Yes.
I didn't learn that last little bit. And even if I did learn 100, hey, refresher.
Exactly.
Think how many things we've learned. And
Yeah, exactly. That's a real thing, and I think a lot of what happens is people close their mind off, and when you close your mind off, you don't grow any further in life. Being able to grow further in life is really the biggest challenge a lot of us face, and a lot of us never get past where we are. And #1, you never will if your mind is closed, and #2, you never will if you never put any effort in. The moment you say I can't, you just guaranteed your own failure. That's why I say I may not be physically able yet. I am, however, working up to it. Just changing my own verbiage, my inner language to myself, and the way I speak to myself is a big boost, and it's been a big part of the rebuild for myself, not only physically but also mentally. Like the other day when I was doing leaps with my roommate, I freaking jumped in the back of the truck, and you asked me that in April when I started this journey. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? There's no way I'm gonna be able to jump in the back of that truck. No way. And on Sunday, I'm just like, well, let's see if I can do it. And it just started a whole thing on Sunday with, I'm gonna try new things. Things that I believed I couldn't do previously. I'm gonna retry all those things as they come up, and I'm gonna try new things and see where I'm at, and then work from there. That's the goal. And that's part of the training system that I'm working on building for myself. And that's what I want to be able to share with people is my process and how I do things from start to finish. Learning about life lessons, failures can be opportunities, wins aren't always what they seem. It's just things like that. Non-scale victories are a big thing, and of course, just tracking my weight as the process goes on to show that I'm winning in some of these other areas. I'm also winning on the scale, and now this is the first one I've ever recorded. From start to finish, you get to see one of my recovery workouts, and they're only going to get more intense as the weeks go on from here. So that's what's going on in my mind, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm working on building. Accountability Nation itself is going to be a standalone brand of workout gear. I'm working on that. I'm working on Jason as the motivational speaker, Jason the author. I'm working on those things as well. Jason the streamer, and see where it all goes. I mean, Organization is going to be key to the early going and making sure you have a solid foundation. Foundations is the biggest thing, and my foundations typically are in the version of 3, and I consider it a tripod because you stand much stronger on a tripod than you do on just 2 legs. That's where it's at. All right.
And devotion and dedication will make it. The people who try something and they're like, I didn't see enough improvement. They're the ones that don't do it. The ones that try and fail, try again and fail again, try again and fail again, and then finally make it. They're the ones that
keep failing until you succeed, because in each failure there's going to be a life lesson. I call them double L's because I don't necessarily believe that a loss is a loss. A loss is an opportunity to get better. You assess the situation, you pick apart what went right and what went wrong, and you focus on the small pieces that went wrong. You don't need to worry about what went right in a sense because it's already there. Just be conscious of it in the backside, so the next time you attempt it, you know, well, these things did work. I'm not so focused on that. I need to focus more on this, this, and this that didn't work, and see what it takes to improve those things. So,
I think a good motivational quote from that is like, the only true loss is one not learned from. Otherwise, a loss, you're gaining knowledge, you're succeeding at learning.
yeah,
Because, you know, if you fail at something, well, you know, that route didn't work. If you try it again, well, it was a true loss. But if you try altering a little bit, eventually we're going to find that path.
exactly. And that's exactly it is. It's trial and error. It's being willing to risk it all to fail in the path of success. Also, though, in the path of success, when you do reach that success, sometimes there is a failure in there. It's a really weird thing to say because sometimes a win isn't always a win. It may be temporarily, long term it may not be. And it could be something as simple as you got cocky and the form you're using isn't good. And because of that form, yeah, you're repping on your sets, and then you just injured your back or your shoulder, or you tore a bicep or something like that. And now you're on the shelf in the IR for like 6 weeks to a month or like multiple months. And quite honestly, I would rather be able to put in 25% every day than 0% for a stretch because I overdid it. Protecting your body is a win and a life lesson that people do or should think about learning. I don't like to tell people what they need to do. People need to decide that on their own. We cannot really affect free will. People are either going to want to do it or they're not. And if they want to do it, you're going to be able to tell. They're going to show up, they're going to be motivated, and they're going to put in the work. People that don't really want to do it are going to come in, they're going to half-ass it, and they're going to give you 138 excuses for why they weren't able to do it. And the only real excuse is you didn't want to. When you get past that I don't want to phase, that's when things start to kick in. And what I like to say is consistency starts where motivation ends. You need, there it is again. For me, I need to be consistent. Without consistency, I fail, and I know that. So building consistency in my routines, my daily life, and how I go through a day are great tools for somebody like me who has anxiety and a few other issues mentally. So reworking and rewiring my brain after the traumatic brain injury, the post-traumatic stress disorder, and a few other things really are key to my personal success. All right, we are good to go.
Absolutely.
That was a good after wrap up.
Absolutely.